In triangle ABC above, what is the length of side AD? So we're given here these angles, and this is 90. Since this is 90, this is also 90, and therefore this is also 30 degrees, and this one is 60 degrees. And we have two triangles here. Triangles ADB is just congruent to triangle CDB because they are both 30, 60, 90 triangles, and they share the same side, which is side BD. Okay, since the triangles here are congruent, therefore side AB is also congruent to BC, which is just equal to 12. And then in triangle ADB, okay, our side AD is just opposite to the angle 30 degrees, this one. Therefore, the length of AD is just 1/2. Okay, 1/2 the length of the hypotenuse, which is AB. So since AB is equal to BC and BC is just equal to 12, so this is just 1/2 of 12. So AD is just equal to 6. Or we can also use the law of sine or the special right triangle definition of a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So let's do that. Okay, so this is our 30, 60, 90 right triangle. Okay, drawing triangle ADB here. So this is ADB. Okay, so let's solve for x first. The hypotenuse is just equal to 2x, so 2x equals 12. So our x is equal to 6. Okay, x here is the opposite of 30 degrees angle, and in triangle ADB, our x is side AD, and this is x equal to x, therefore AD, which is just x, so AD is just equal to 6. So the answer here is letter B. The surface area of the cube is 6 times a over 4 squared, where a is a positive constant. Which of the following gives the perimeter of one face of the cube? So we're given here the surface area of the cube, which is equal to 6 times a over 4 squared. And to solve for the surface area is just equal to 6 times the side of the cube squared. Now let's draw the cube. If this is our cube, okay, so that means these are the sides. So we have this one, this side here, we have 12 sides. The question is the perimeter of one face of the cube. So let's say this is one face of the cube. So this is the side, and our side here is just equal to a over 4, and one face of a cube is just a square, so we get the perimeter of the square. So to solve for the perimeter of the square, that is just equal to 4 times the side. So our side is equal to A over 4, we just plug in the value of our side here. So this is 4 times A over 4. 4 cancels out, therefore the perimeter is just equal to A, the perimeter of one face of the cube. So the answer here is letter B. The equation above defines a circle in the xy plane. What are the coordinates of the center of the circle? Okay, we're given here this equation, x squared plus 20x plus y squared plus 16y equals negative 20. Now to find the center of the circle, we have to write this equation in the standard form, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where the center here is hk. Okay, so how are we going to do that? We just have to divide this one in two groups and then complete the square. So that would be x squared plus 20x plus y squared plus 16y equals negative 20. Now how are we going to complete the squares? So we just have to add each term by half of the middle coefficient, the square of the half of the middle coefficient. So this would be x squared plus 20x plus 20 over 2 squared plus y squared plus 16y plus 16 over 2 squared equals negative 20. Whatever we add here, we also add to the right. So that would be plus 20 over 2 squared plus 16 over 2 squared. So this is just x squared plus 20x. 20 over 2 is 10, then 10 squared is 100 plus y squared plus 16y. 16 divided by 2 is 8, then 8 squared is 64. And on the right, this is negative 20 plus 100 plus 64. And now we can simplify the equation. So for this expression here, x squared plus 20x plus 100, we can write that as x plus 10 squared. And this one, we can write that as y plus 8 squared. You can always check using the FOIL method, that is x plus 10 times x plus 10 plus y plus 8 times y plus 8. And on the right, negative 20 plus 100 plus 64, that is 80 plus 64, so this is just equal to 144. And now we have the equation of the circle. We've already written this equation here in the standard form, which is this one. So our center here, HK, is just negative 10 and negative 8. So the answer here is letter B. Horsepower in watts are units of measure of power. They are directly proportional, such that 5 horsepower is equal to 3,730 watts. How much power in watts is equal to 2 horsepower? So we just do conversion here. So we're given that 5 horsepower is equal to 3,730 watts. Okay, So we let X be the number of watts that is equal to 2 horsepower. So we can use ratio and proportion here. So that would be 5 horsepower is to 3,730 watts, and then 2 horsepower is to X, because we don't know X, and then we can solve for X. That is just, okay, we cross multiply, so that is 2 horsepower times 3,730 watts over 5 HP horsepower. So the unit horsepower here cancel out. Then our X is just equal to 1,492 watts. And that is the answer here, 1,492 watts. We can also use another method. We can solve for the number of watts in 1 horsepower first. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so we have 5 horsepower equals 3,730 watts. So we just have to divide both sides by 5. Therefore, 1 horsepower is just equal to 746 watts. And now we to find to solve for 2 horsepower. So that would be 2 horsepower. We just multiply this by 746 watts per horsepower. So our answer is 1,492 watts. So we get the same answer.